Hey everybody, what's up? So did you know the average person actually goes on 126 different diets in their life? 126 different diets in their life. That's crazy. And out of those people, and the people that go on diets, 2/3 of them, maybe a little bit more than 2/3, usually gain actually more weight back on than they originally lost, right? So I'm saying this because there's a huge problem. There's a huge problem with diets that are out there. Okay, there's a huge problem with diets that are out there, and there's if we want to start getting healthier, if we want to start experiencing what it's like to be healthier, and where the body is no longer an issue, the body's a platform for growth, right? It's a foundation for growth. If we want to get to that, right, we have to start looking at these things differently. We have to start looking at dieting differently, what dieting is. And we have to start finding a diet that's sustainable. We have to start finding a diet that fits you, that fits your body, right? So this is the first of some lives that I'm going to start doing on a weekly basis. So every Friday, I'll start doing an episode like this where it's live, where I'm talking about some things during the week, kind of sharing a problem with that I've come up with, or that I've came in touch with, or heard about, and start to talk more about how we can start getting towards this sustainability thing, because it's just crazy how much time and effort and money people spend on things that don't work. Okay, and I want to talk about and try to get you going in a direction where this stuff can start working for you. Okay, so as we go on here, if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll try to answer them the best I can. Okay, but this is kind of just an informal talk, if you want to call it that. So people, when we talk about struggling with diets, we have to first look at what a diet is, because there's a lot of misconception about diet, right? If you ask anybody about a diet, most people will tell you that it has something to do with restricting your food, or eating specific things, or not being able to eat food, or you can only eat certain types of food, or it's about weight loss, or whatever that may be, right? There's a lot of different perceptions that people have about dieting. But dieting is really, it's what you eat the majority of the time. Okay, when you say this is my diet, it means this is what you're eating the majority of the time. Now, dieting has got this kind of perception to it because it's about food, right? And because most of the diets out there have very strong manipulations on the food, right? A certain diet means you're manipulating food in this way to get a certain outcome. Most diets are about weight loss. Okay, most diets are about weight loss, just plain and simple. And we're going to talk about that as well here, about the goals of that and what that looks like. But most diets manipulate food very strongly, and depending on how they manipulate or change the food or restrict the food, right? Then that's the name of the diet, or then that's how that diet kind of has its identity. There's keto, and there's paleo, and there's Atkins, and there's Mediterranean and vegan, and there's everything, right? There's everything, right? Like I said, people go on 126 different diets over the course of their life. It's crazy. But what we're trying to do here is we're trying to find a diet or a way of eating that you're going to eat the majority of the time, that's sustainable, that you can actually eat this way for your entire life. Okay, that's what we're trying to get, because here's the thing, you guys, you're gonna eat your entire life. Most people eat 3 times a day. Some people eat 2 times a day. Some people eat once a day, right? Some people do fasting things where they don't eat on certain days. But people eat all the time, every day. So it's something that you're gonna be doing for the rest of your life. So why not find a way that you can eat in a certain way for the rest of your life, because you're going to be eating for the rest of your life, and make that way that you're eating going to increase the health in your body, going to get rid of disease, going to make this body in a way that it's a platform for growth, as opposed to an anchor that's dragging you down, right? You don't want this body to be this anchor that's dragging you, and it's always paining and hurting and slow and sluggish and no energy. You don't want that. That's low quality of life. People don't want to experience those things. We want to make this body into a platform, like a springboard, so we can go forward and we can go up, right? And so we got to start looking at two things really here. We have to look at sustainability, and we have to look at how it works best for you. Here's the crazy thing about diets, you guys. Here's the crazy thing about diets. There will never, and I used to come from really wanting things to be scientific and logical. I like the science of things, right? But I will tell you, there will never, ever, 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 ever be a scientifically proven diet that is best. People always search this up. What's the best diet? What's the best diet I can go on? What's the best diet I can get started with? There will never, ever, 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 ever be a scientifically proven diet that is best. Why? Because your body and what you eat is so subjective. It is you. Science, you guys, science is not subjective. Science is objective. Science does not look at the individual and how the individual responds to things. Science looks at variables and generalizes for a population, for the most part. Okay, diets we're talking about. They'll come up with science that says, this diet, this many people, 500 people lost 10 pounds in 6 months on this type of diet. You're generalizing because every single one of those people in that study, none of them are you. None of them are you. So even if you did that diet, you could have completely different results than anybody in that study. Okay? And I'm not saying science is bad at all. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when we start looking the reality of dieting and eating and your experience of life, it is subjective to you. It is you. It is subjective to you. And you're different than everybody else. And not just on the surface. There's deep levels of who you are that are different. Even if you look the same, even if you weigh the same, if your body type is the same maybe as somebody else, how you are made as an individual is very unique on many different levels. Okay? And so what you eat may have a completely different impact, right? If you and another person both eat a banana, this banana can have a different impact on your system than it does on another person's system because of how complex the system is. So there's two things. I'm going to go back to these things: longevity or sustainability, the ability to eat this way for your entire life. And two, what works best for you. Why would you go if somebody says, and I'll explain why, but if somebody says, hey, this diet worked great for me, that would maybe give you an idea, okay, maybe I want to try that diet to see how it works for me, but ultimately it might not work the same. What you have to do, and what I'm here to help you with, is to find the diet that works for you, to find your own individual way of eating. Because that's what's going to make the difference, okay? That's what's going to make the difference in being able to be sustainable, because it has to impact you. It has to be specific to your system. It has to be flexible. It has to be able to make you healthy and not just be a scientific study, okay? So the struggle with finding something that is sustainable, and we can see the complete opposite, right? When people go on 126 different diets in their life, we can see the opposite happening. That's not sustainability. If people go on 120, even half of that, right? If you went on, 63 diets, right? Over the course of your life, that's not sustainable. The average person goes on, I think they said, around two different diets a year, around 1 to 3 months they last. Okay, some of them are longer, but on average, right, they don't last very long. So that's not sustainable. Okay, there's no way that you're going to be able to sustain all this change all the time, right? And you're trying to find something that you can just do and integrate as a part of your life and also get the benefits from it. So sustainability is a big part of that. And this is where the art of eating comes in. So I talk a little bit about the art of healthy eating, right? Or the art of eating, or the art of healthy eating. And what I mean by that is we have to start switching the way we look at food and the way we look at dieting, okay? We have to start switching this. Instead of always looking at something very logical and cold and scientific and in terms of nutrients only in food, okay, we have to switch that and start looking at the qualities of food and seeing how each individual food impacts our health and impacts our body. Because like I said, the same apple, okay, 2 different people can eat an apple, the same apple, and that apple can have 2 different effects on the system because of the system, because of the individuality of the person. So the whole goal in this is to start to explore the art of eating and not the science, not finding this rigid meal plan that you're going to mold your body to this meal plan. No, we're trying to get to where you're listening to your body and you mold the food, okay? And you take all the different types of food and you supply the body with what it needs. You don't try to mold the body into a diet. That's the wrong way to go, okay? You're not trying to mold the body into a diet. You're trying to take bits and pieces in this food and use it to support the body in its natural way of being, right? And it's letting you know this kind of stuff. But just like art, you guys, just like art, or just like science is very generalized, like it's objective, right? It's generalized for a population of people. Art is very subjective. Different art, different paintings may or may not be beautiful to somebody else. You might like a piece of art or you might like a song and somebody else might not like a song, right? Art is very subjective and it's very individualized. It's how you feel and your feelings, and that's how you experience things. So this art of eating, or this art of healthy eating, is really starting to explore that in your own life. Starting to explore I'm done with all of this rigid stuff. I'm done with all of these diets that I keep trying and they don't work, and I keep trying and they don't work, and I keep trying and they don't work. Okay? It's when you get fed up with that stuff and you know that it's not sustainable, and you know deep down if it's not sustainable or not, okay? So when you know that and you come to that realization that it's not sustainable, then we start to explore the art of eating, which is listening to your body and listening to what your body is telling you on a daily basis and providing your body with what it needs. Okay? Your body's constantly changing. Your body's constantly changing each day. Something new is happening. One day it might want a whole bunch of fat. One day it might want no food at all. One day it might want only fruit. Right? The body has different needs each and every moment, but in a bigger scope, each and every day, right? Different food needs. And it will tell you this stuff with the cravings. Like I've talked about this before with cravings, it's alerting you to what it needs. And so the art of eating is all about learning how to get more in touch with that and understand what your body is saying to you. And when you can start doing that stuff, then you're not molding yourself to a diet that somebody has came up with. You are creating the diet that is best for you. You are creating the diet that your body is trying to tell you that it needs. Your body knows food. Okay, your body turns food into human body. The body has been turning food into human body for millions of years. That's what it's designed to do. Okay, the mind gets in the way. That's the biggest problem. The mind gets in the way. And it starts trying to make us think that, oh, no, this is going to be better. Just because I understand this logically, or there's been a little scientific something here for a lot of people, then this is the way. When really your body is telling you the whole time the way. Okay, and we just got to be able to listen to that. We just got to be able to listen and understand what it's saying, okay? And so that's kind of like we start shifting into this art of eating thing. And as we start to shift into that, and we start to learn a little bit on how to listen to the body and hear what it's trying to say, that's when this becomes the last diet you'll ever need. The last diet you'll ever need. Because you'll start looking at dieting differently. You'll start looking at dieting as just the way that you eat the majority of the time. And this will be the last diet you'll ever need because it is about you. It's not about somebody else planning your food for you. It's about you listening to the body where the food's going anyway, and you providing it with what it needs. It's the last diet you'll ever need. Last diet you'll ever need, okay? And so, some of the problems some of the biggest problems that people have, even when talking about dieting, right? Even talking about dieting is time is one. Time's a huge problem for people. People believe they don't have enough time. Okay. Energy is another one. People believe that they don't have the energy to start something new. Okay. They just don't have the energy to start something new. Social aspects are another one, another problem that people have when talking about dieting. And I'm hesitant to I'm using the word dieting because that's what makes sense. People know what I'm talking about when I say dieting, okay? But I'm consciously trying to say over and over again that dieting, the way I am talking about dieting is how you eat the majority of the time. The diet is how you eat the majority of the time. That is your diet. Okay, I'm not talking about dieting as this is a specific rigid diet plan where you have to eat this way and then you're going to be healthy. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay, but I'm using the word diet on purpose because that's going to make a connection for people. People are going to understand what a diet is, and we're talking about food, okay? But yeah, the other thing here is the social aspect, right? When you start making changes into your life, because diet, what you eat is a big part of your life. You do it every day. So when you start making changes like that, it can disrupt your social life. It can disrupt, it could be uncomfortable if you're used to going out all the time and then you're not, if you're trying to follow a strict diet, but then you go out all the time and then you don't know how to make your strict diet work with going out, and then you feel like a failure because you want to go out and be social, but then you can't eat the way that you're eating that you want to eat, and it gets all messed up. Okay. And so it still comes back to the rigidness of strict diets. Okay. It's the rigidness. People don't like to be blocked into boundaries, you guys. People don't like this, okay? People don't like boundaries, even though we create our own boundaries. People create their own boundaries in their mind all the time, but they don't like them. They create them, but they don't like them. And people don't like to have walls put in front of them and say, you can't cross that, or you can't do this, you can't do that, okay? Ultimately, people want to go beyond the boundaries that are put in front of them, okay? They want to be boundless. And so it's almost impossible to think that you can have a diet that has boundaries to it and believe that you are not going to want to go outside the boundaries. It's human nature to be boundless, to explore everything beyond boundaries and to break boundaries. That's what we've done as human beings forever. We broke boundaries, right? And you're just talking about the human race, for every boundary that has been put in front, social boundary, whatever boundary, some people have always longed to break those boundaries, and everybody longs to, but just some people take different actions with it. But it's impossible. It's crazy to think that, okay, I'm going to put these boundaries on how I eat, but I'm going to be totally content and happy with staying within those boundaries. Okay. Somewhere deep down inside, you're going to want to break those boundaries. And so that's why we have to set up a way of eating that is fluid and that is flexible and that is movable, and you understand what's going on in the system, and you know that there aren't any boundaries. There's just a direction. There's a direction, and there's how you feel in response to what you eat. Okay? There's not rigid boundaries, because rigid boundaries are always going to get broken. And then our mind likes to create all kinds of nonsense when we do break those boundaries. Judgment, shame, guilt, all that kind of stuff, okay? So what we're really saying here is, if you get fed up, okay, I'm not saying diets are bad. Go on diets. I've been on a lot of them before. Keto, paleo, did different carb diets. I've done, P90X. I've done bodybuilding.com, meal plans. I've done all kinds of random, crazy, different diets, right? Just to experience what that's like. Because we're all just trying to be a little bit healthier. We all want to be a little bit healthier because we like the feelings of health. Health is just a word to describe certain feelings that we have, right? When there's no pain, when there's joy, when there's energy, when there's excitement, when there's all those good things, we call that health. So health is just a word to describe our feelings that we have, and we want more of those feelings because they feel good. So everybody wants to be a little bit healthier because we like the feelings that come with that, okay? But when we start talking about that, when we start talking about, the rigidness of diets, and then talking about finding out how you can start to make a diet for yourself, you can start to eat a certain way for yourself that's going to create this health in your body, that's the way you want to start going. And like I said before, diets aren't bad. You can try all those different diets. They're not bad at all. Try them, because everything that you try becomes an experience for you. And all experience is wonderful. It'll just guide you along a direction. But what I'm saying is, when you get to a point and you know that that's not sustainable, when it takes too much energy, it takes too much time, it messes with your social life, it does all of those things, okay? It takes away all those things. When you know that's not the way you're going to go for the rest of your life, but you still want to be healthy, you still want to experience the feelings of health, that's when you start turning a different direction. And that's when you come, and I'll be here for you, right? And you start to look at the diet that is unique for me, the art of healthy eating, okay? And starting to find the last diet that you're going to ever need, because it's based on your body, not anybody else's body, right? There's one other thing that I want to talk about really quick before we get off here, and that is weight loss, okay? That's weight loss. So most people, the vast majority of diets are centered around weight loss. Okay, people want to lose weight. They've gained weight. They don't like how they look. They don't like how it feels. They've gained weight. They want to lose 10 pounds, 5 pounds, 20 pounds, 50 pounds, whatever it may be. Okay, the biggest driving factor to getting on a diet is weight loss. Okay, now you have to understand. If you don't understand, that's fine. You will in time. You have to understand that weight gain is not a standalone factor. It is not happening by itself. Everything that we experience in this physical body, whether it's a rash, whether it is sickness, whether it is weight gain, whether it is, whatever feelings, right? Whether it is all of these different things that we would say are unpleasant, okay? They all have a deeper cause. Okay, weight gain just doesn't pop up out of nowhere, right? Just doesn't pop up out of nowhere. It has a deeper cause to it. Gaining weight, like that is not the cause. That is the final manifestation or the final consequence of much deeper things. Okay? So I know most people like to go on diets to lose weight. That's their goal, to lose weight. If you want to have longevity, if you want to have longevity with your diet, if you want to have sustainability with your diet, if you want your diet to work best for you and to get more of those feelings of health, that cannot be the goal. The goal or the direction has to be a deeper level of health and balance in your system, okay? Because if you start to get a deeper level of balance, become more balanced in your system, weight will fall away. Because weight gain is a consequence of imbalance in your system. Okay? If you go at the cause, okay, if you set your course and your direction towards balancing out and fixing the cause, weight loss will just be a consequence. It'll be a natural consequence for you. You won't have to just focus all of your energy on only losing weight. You'll focus your energy on becoming balanced and healthy, and weight will fall away naturally, along with so many other things, so many other imbalances in your system, okay? So it's just something I want to start to tell you about and let you know about, that if I know it's going to be hard right in the beginning, but if you can focus and if you can get a bigger picture of this, of longevity, of your life, okay, of the sustainability of what you're going to eat. You're going to eat every day for the rest of your life, right? And if you can start to look at this in a way of, I'm going to eat for a deeper level of health and balance within my system, weight will naturally balance itself out. Your body will lose weight. Your body will gain weight. Whatever your body needs, your body will do. Your body will take care of, okay? But if you're only focused on the weight loss, that's when we start doing things that can be detrimental to our body. That's why people go on diets I want to lose weight. I want to specifically lose weight. I don't care what the cost is. I'm going to go on this diet, and it may or may not destroy my body and my mind in the process. But you know what? I lost 50 pounds and life is great. No, that's not what it is. That's not what's going to happen. Okay? So losing weight cannot be the end all be all of this. Okay? Because if it is, you will do things for the sake of losing weight, to lose weight, that can end up being detrimental and harmful to your body in the long term. Okay, on deeper levels. So we got to start focusing this on deeper levels of health and balance within the body, okay? And that's why we have to find a diet that is the only diet you'll ever need. It has to be sustainable and it has to work for you. It has to be about you. Okay, and that's why you have to start exploring the art of eating and listening to what your body is saying, using your cravings, listening to what your body is saying, and that is the only way that you will create a diet that is individualized to you on a moment-to-moment basis. Okay? Hopefully all this makes sense, you guys. Hopefully it all makes sense. It's I just really wanted to chat a little bit and let you know there's a problem out there, and people are seeking solutions to this. People don't want to go on 126 different diets in their life. People don't like going on a diet for 3 months, losing weight, gaining the weight back, got to go back on another diet like this, yo-yo back and forth. People do not feel good like that. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. Okay? And no matter what you do, no matter what diets you try in your life, it doesn't matter. Okay? I'm telling you, the only way that you will find a diet that is unique to you and that is sustainable is by listening to your body, because your individual body knows what your individual body needs. That's the only way. Scientist, A, B, C, Mr. Joe Scientist over there, or your buddy, or your whoever, okay, with the special diets, they don't know what your body needs. Your mind doesn't even know what your body needs. Your body knows what your body needs. Does this make sense? Your mind doesn't even know what your body needs. You know this because your mind has gone on different diets before. Your mind, okay, this is the one. This diet's the one. No, now this diet's the one. Now this diet's the one. Now this diet's the one. That's what your mind does. It goes all over the place. Your body knows what your body needs. And so it just takes a little bit of attention, a little bit of time, and a little bit of attention, and a little bit of guidance if you need it. Okay? To understand and start to hear what your body is saying, because it is telling you what it needs. Okay? And once you go down that route, it's going to be wonderful. Thank you guys very much. If you have any questions, let me know. You can put them in the comments, or you can direct message me. But every Friday I'll be doing this, just kind of chatting about maybe a problem that I see and just kind of letting you know what's going on during the week. And that's going to be it. Thank you guys very much. Have a wonderful day.